10 ways to free your mind from mental slavery. Are you still working, or are you already thinking? Anyone who believes that slavery is history is very much mistaken. It even exists in our minds, and we are subjugated and terrorized by it every day. By mental slavery, we mean a worldview that we've carried around with us since childhood like a backpack, weighing tons that presses us to the ground. It is the result of many factors such as upbringing, parental example, imprinting, and various beliefs that we have never really questioned. Most people live in a hamster wheel, work jobs that don't make them happy, and simply let the news and headlines on the internet and television feed them as much as they like. In this way, they remain lifelong prisoners of a mindset that neither has to be true nor makes them mature, thinking and self-determined people in any way. Here's how you can escape this vicious circle. Number 1. Whose rules are you playing by? Take a quiet minute to think about how many demands you have to fulfill every day that do not correspond to your free will. Who gets to decide everything about you? Who tells you where to go? We have to abide by a few laws. After all, prison clothes don't suit everyone. But some people gain more influence over us over the years than they are entitled to. Number 2. It's not good for you the way it is. If you were satisfied with the current state of your life, you wouldn't be dealing with this issue right now. So, you're obviously looking for answers, but you won't find them within your comfort zone. If the status quo of your life reinforces your suspicion that it is bad for you, the only option is love it, change it, or leave it. Number 3. Choose your friends wisely. Our thoughts are influenced by many impulses. Our closest environment plays a significant role in this, especially the one we can choose for ourselves. What do your friends put in your ear? What do you talk about or discuss? How do you feel about their views? We can sometimes be lured onto the wrong track by persuasion more quickly than we think. Number 4. What would you do if money was no object? The quickest way to check whether you've landed in the right life is to hit the lottery jackpot. Don't worry, an imaginary one will do. Just imagine what you could do with your life if you had all the money in the world, or at least so much that you no longer had to work for it. You would be free to think, say, and do what you want. Number 5. Don't believe everything you think. A lot of what we think in our brains is simply wrong. We sometimes get carried away with scenarios that we can no longer let go of without there being even a spark of usefulness in them. This includes assumptions and speculation, but also clinging to old beliefs from childhood, youth, and previous relationships. Number 6. Educate yourself. Knowledge is power, probably the only power that every person can acquire in the course of their life. Remain open to new theories and worldviews, but also question them critically. Not everyone shares their wisdom with you out of pure charity. Politicians and media makers, influencers, and self-proclaimed gurus are often just very clever salespeople who want to sell their wares to unsuspecting consumers. Number 7. Discover your spirituality. It is essential for your mental and emotional health, but it also empowers you in terms of finding your truth and purpose in life. The important thing is that you discover a variant that you feel completely and 100% comfortable with. You don't need a state or self-proclaimed religious community for this, and certainly no obscure teachers who take your money out of your pocket, but certainly don't have your best interests at heart. True, genuine spirituality is always free, but never for nothing. Number 8. Free yourself from mental constraints. We all carry them around with us, and they're difficult to get a grip on. They include, for example, the firm belief that a certain ideology is true, and that anyone who opposes it must be a bad person, or even our enemy. We also think that we have to commit to the 40-hour hamster wheel because society expects it of us. even though it makes us miserable and ill. And the third widespread compulsion is that we hide our true identity and our dreams because our friends and family won't accept them. Number 9, write your own story and rewrite it if necessary. Upbringing, traditions, and traditional values can tie us into a corset which we cannot free ourselves for the rest of our lives. It is therefore high time you stopped trying to be someone others would like you to be. How much of yourself is real that you have been allowed to live out so far? And how much is just fulfilling the expectations of those around you? Imagine your days are numbered and you only have a year to live. What image of yourself do you want to leave behind in the world? Number 10, recognize your worth. Everything that determines our self-image and self-perception stands or falls with this point. Only those who can find themselves well will dare to take the all-important step out of the shadows of mental slavery. Only when you see that you as a human being correspond to the ideal image of creation, but not to that of the media, politicians, and opinion leaders, will you have a good chance of breaking free. You are you, and that's exactly how you should be. There are already enough people who conform and take every bait. Our freedom begins in the mind. Mental slavery creeps into our lives over years and usually completely unnoticed. Many decision makers benefit from a mass of people who have given up thinking for themselves and allow themselves to be seduced by money, status, and an image touted as desirable. The less we think about life, the less we demand of it. If you don't want to remain a well-behaved system maintainer who believes everything they are led to believe, then devote yourself to your thoughts. They are free, and no one can take this freedom away from you.